The Charles H. Hackley Distinguished Lecture in Humanities was established 32 years ago by Friends of the Hackley Public Library to recognize and honor someone with a Muskegon affiliation who has made a difference in their chosen field. Mr. Roberts has announced his retirement as of this Thursday from his job as emergency manager of the Detroit Public School System. He has been quoted that if he helped to better the life of one child by his service, then it has all been worthwhile. Roy Roberts, like Charles Hackley, who was the president of the Muskegon Board of Education 110 plus years ago, they have bettered the lives of many of us. I am honored to present Roy Roberts as the 2013 Charles H. Hackley Distinguished Lecturer in Humanities. Mr. Roberts.
Before I get started, to the young recipients, congratulations. And this is just the beginning. To the not so young recipients, continue to do what you've been doing. It will be good for the entire community. To all of you, I can't tell you how pleased I am to be back in my hometown. I've got relatives here, I've got friends here, and a couple of my buddies says, don't you tell any lies, because we remember. Buy flowers. I've lived around this country and throughout the world, but Muskegon is always and will be home for Maureen and I. It is truly an honor to have been asked by the Friends of Hackley Public Library to deliver this year's Charles H. Hackley Distinguished Lecture in the Humanities. The Hackley Library has a special place in my heart and my memories as somewhere that I could come to learn of the things that I would accomplish in my life and figure out how I might achieve them. I want to say a special thank you to the Friends of the Hackley Library for this wonderful invitation, including Board President Charles Johnson, Jr., and Board Member Gene Anderson for all of their coordination to get us here. They were absolutely terrific. I also want to thank Dr. John Mullally. We've almost golfed tonight, for such a warm welcome and introduction, and I would be remiss if I did not recognize Library Director Martha Farabee for everything she does to keep this amazing institution moving forward in the great tour that she took Maureen and I on today. I really thank you. When I was asked by Gene Anderson to provide her with the title of my lecture this evening, I thought long and hard about what it might be. After some reflection, I decided that, quote, my journey from Muskegon to the heights of corporate America, to a mission to help children learn, end of quote, captured what it is that I wanted to share with everyone. That is the importance of education and perseverance. Throughout my life, I've been faced with challenges. I believe the key to my success has been that I never allowed myself to believe that these challenges were insurmountable. I was also fortunate enough to have been raised by a father who would not allow me to be anything but the best at everything that I did. My father raised 10 children on his own after my mother died when I was 2.5 years old. He worked long hours at Campbell Wine and Cannon and Continental Motors to put food on the table and provide us with a warm, safe home. There were many times, however, when things got tough and we didn't necessarily know where our next meal was coming from. However, he never allowed any of us to dwell on what we didn't have. Instead, he focused us on the fact that we had each other, which was so critically important. And he never let us lose sight of the fact that we could be anything we wanted to be if we took our education seriously. So throughout my education, including at Muskegon Heights Lindbergh Elementary, Muskegon's Angel Junior High, and Muskegon Senior High, I was driven by my father's voice in the back of my head saying, and I quote, keep your head down and focus. Only you can control the outcome, end of quote. This has remained as a driving force in my psyche throughout my life. After graduating from high school in 1958, I moved to Grand Rapids, And there were not a lot of jobs available at that time in 1958, if you remember. This presented a serious challenge for me since I had gotten married and my wife was pregnant with our first child. With nothing to lose, a group of friends and I took some initiative and filled out job applications at Culminators. After being told that there were no jobs available, we all left feeling a bit downtrodden. However, I once again heard that familiar voice in the back of my head, quote, "Only you can control the outcome." So instead of following my friends to their next destination, I went back to Culminators and told the HR director my situation. I needed $300 for a deposit so that my wife would be able to have our baby at the hospital. I went to work that very day and have subsequently never been out of work or had to apply for another job in my life. You got to want it. You got to make it happen.